Ready?
Yeah.
And then action.
So we have to cut off for technical issues, but we're back here with men and parenting. We were seriously talking about how we can help our children, especially the boys, to copy us rather than going out there, getting it from their friends, their peers, or from school. When they finish school, what best we can do as men to help. I've got a question here, which came from that group I went to. I'm sure classic ladies from North London, they're all here. One particular question that a lady says, why do men get scared or fear when a woman earns more than them? Yeah.
I personally don't have a problem with a woman earning more. And I encourage women to even aspire to go higher. My wife earns more than me, and I encourage her to go for a MBA and other things. So for me, if a woman earns more, it helps solve a lot of problems in the house as well. So, and one thing I think we don't do, which I will encourage us to do, is that as a couple, if you are living, you got a partner, try to be open with your finances. In our culture, a lot of people are not open with their finances, and that's where the problem is. People don't know how much each earns, how much each have in their account. I encourage a joint account, and the joint account should be a percentage of your income. So whatever you are earning, a percentage of your income, let's say 20% or 30% or 40%, whatever you people agree on, comes into the joint account. Then that joint account is used for the household bills. What is left in your account is what you use to do whatever you want to do with. But there should be a joint account. I know a lot of people don't believe in joint accounts, and it's been a problem where I talk to people and they say, oh, me, I'll never have a joint account with my husband. I'll never have a joint account with my wife. No, you need to have something. And that brings some flexibility. I give my card to my wife to use. She knows my PIN. She knows my online password and everything.
Brave man.
I mean, I don't have hers, but I have given her mine. When she's going out and she needs to, can I have your card? I give it to her because she knows the PIN number. So I don't have a problem because I know she knows my account. She goes into my account and she says, what did you use this for? What did you use? She's an accountant anyway, so she asked me. Yes. So it's for me, I'm not hiding anything.
Okay, let me ask this for you, Sarah.
Oh, okay.
Why do you think men feel stripped?
When a woman earns more, I think it's the way we're brought up, isn't it? The man is supposed to be the head of the family, the breadwinner. You know, from when a child is born, what happens in a home? We've got the man leading, and the little boy is sort of watching their dad and seeing what goes on in the household. And I think that's the reason. It's merely, you know, the way we're brought up.
Did you
so
have
you take
did
that.
you have a joint account before?
I have a
Don't
joint account.
answer that, Daddy.
We didn't have a joint account, but there was nothing in it.
I like that.
Because you didn't have a percentage to be saying
There
there.
was no percentages.
I like the question you come up with, why men are scared when women earn more. We're talking about men and manning up. And if you're home and your responsibility lies on bringing money home, that's what you do. And a woman begins to earn more than you do, you think you'll be taken out of the equation. But if you contribute more than financial aspect, you wouldn't mind how much a woman brings home. But most of us comes home because you're thinking, I earn more, I'll call the shots here. And that is the reason why men are scared for women to earn more. The next thing is, do you contribute to that lady's getting to where she is to earn that much money? We sit back, we don't educate our women, and they find a way of they educate themselves. Then they earn more than you, thinking, oh my goodness, I never got myself involved. We need to get ourselves involved in whatever they study, encourage them and push them to the highest level. If they earned billions, they know you are part of what she is now, and you have nothing to hide. But most of us thinking, oh, I mean, I'll sit back, I'm the man. What I say goes, and that's it. But we need to get involved, not just with our children alone as men at home, but with our partners, with our wives. Whatever they do, we support them as much as we support children.
Good question. Do you think women give us the chance to educate them?
That's a very good question. We ask ourselves, what is education and how do we educate them? Some of them have got their own set of mentality or their own set of ways. But the world we live in, gradually you can turn anybody around if you're determined to do that. That determination had to be there for you to turn somebody around. And if you can't have that determination in you to say, okay, this is where I think we should go to, this is where my wife is lacking. She's being stubborn here. There's always a way to go around things. Sometimes our approach to a woman is a problem. I want you to do this and that's it. No, it doesn't happen like that. If you're not your child, they're your partner. So you don't instruct them. You discuss with them and bring them to listen to their views. Take their views with you, digest and say, okay, she's got a point, but what about we adding to the point she's got? But we come and say, okay, well, I want to do this aqua, and that's it. I thought this is the way we're gonna go. No. Sit at the table, discuss, bring issues up. Let her tell you her view. Women hold on to money. My wife will hold on to her. But when I haven't got, I know I can go to her and say, I haven't got, and she'll find a way of getting to me because we communicate. And that's where you are to come as a man. That you don't instruct them, you find a way of bringing them around, educate them of where you are going as a family. When you bring the family values in your partner's life, things becomes a lot more easier than you trying to tell them what they should do with their money. That becomes a problem.
I think the openness in finances is very good. Because where there's no openness, there's always problems. And when I say openness, you don't need to tell your wife how much you earn or this, but there should be some open. I know some people at work, they keep their payslips in their lockers. and I wonder, yeah, seriously, and I wonder why they keep their payslips in their lockers. You should go to somebody open their locker and it's full of payslips, of 20 years of payslips is in there. And I'm like, why? My payslips, I've got a place where I put my payslip, and anyone in my house who goes to my drawer can see my payslips. You see, so there are some things that I think we need to be open about. I don't ask how much my wife earns or what, but for me, I think I am open. Everything. That's why I give her my card. She can give it. Her pass doesn't, PIN number doesn't stay in my head. But
with all these finances and feel threatening because woman earns more, everything, we are in the house and our children, right? Our children see.
Yes.
They see, and they also, like you said, 16?
16, yeah.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
And
They're going to leave their house and they're going to go. What are they taking with them?
What they see is what they go with.
So in our homes, as 5 parents here, what best advice can we give the world to bring up a better home?
To me, I mean, I'll go back, step back a little bit before I go on, because we talk about men earning, women earning more than men. You know, is it about the woman career and then earning more? You know, is what you look at, or because are men threatening of the money coming in more, or are they threatening of their women career? I mean, I think this is where you have to, because I have come across most men feel that they've been treated very badly at home because the woman feel that she's a career person. You can, for example, I have a friend who is a professor, you know, a woman professor. You know, now the wife feels that if he stays home and look after the children, it makes sense that her staying home and looking after the children. So sometimes, is apart from the money, it's also the career issues and that most men feel more threatened with. And I think it's better for us to
before you go on the second thing. Are you saying the threatening and the financial bit is about education and communication?
Yes. That is what it is. It's
I think
more
it's
about
cultural
it's,
too.
it's
No,
more,
it's
but
cultural
however,
too.
our upbringing suggests that men supposed to be
Look
the
after
head
their-
of their
yeah.
family. You know,
But
even
being a head is not just about the money.
no, being the head of the family. However, some men lose those controls depending also on the person they're going out. If you go out with somebody with ego, who feel that, listen, I'm the one who called the shots here in this house, not you. Then you, the man, you are in for
the
it.
lady we have around me.
Yeah, so what I was going to say was when you mentioned, you know, I know you said something about the man earns more, then he thinks he calls the shots, yeah? There's
It
that,
doesn't contribute
if it
apart
doesn't-
from that.
then,
apart from the money
okay.
that comes
So
from
when you take away the earning bit, because that's where men have to find their feet, isn't it? So when we take away the earning bit, we need to find a way of making men relevant beyond money.
That's right.
So what are they? You know, and I think that that's the thing that men actually need to be sort of
Boost our
you know, yes, and also what's it called, forthcoming with, because you take the money out, you can get a gardener if the woman has got money. You can get somebody to fix your roof, to do the cleaning, to do all the manly jobs around the house. So then there's that added value that men need to sort of, you know, whatever it is, bring to the forefront so that we can all be appreciative of it. Because apart from the money, and you know what you said about bringing the money doesn't make you the head of the family? Is that what you said? Or
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So you don't bring in the money. So what are you then? What identity do you then, or what role do you play?
So
in the
let me
family?
ask you a question.
Yeah.
When you see a man, do you see money or you see a man?
I see. Okay.
No, let me put it
Yeah,
right.
go on
Do you
then.
see ATM or the bank?
I do not see an ATM because I've never had it on a plate, given to me on a plate. Some girls are lucky. I haven't been that lucky. Nobody's ever handed anything to me on a plate. I've had to work for everything. And I think in a way, I put that down to my ex-husband actually. I remember when I was, you know, when we started dating, we were sitting at a bus stop waiting for a bath and he turned to me and he told me he likes independent women. I was very young at the time. I'm thinking, what is an independent woman? You know, what is an independent woman? I didn't know what that was. So I often put where I am, I always say, if it wasn't for that conversation, I wouldn't have gotten to where I was. I was just, you know, growing up, going to school, waiting for some rich man to come and just marry me off. But he told me he liked independent women. So he encouraged me a lot, you know, encouraged me to get myself educated, encouraged me to do all sorts, and he pushed me. So for that, I'm very, very grateful. But looking at his own background, his grandmother was a single mother, but managed to raise 2 doctors who are both females. So that in itself, you know, sort of goes to show, and that's where he was coming from, because that's what he knew. So obviously, you meet a girlfriend, you want to turn him into an independent woman, and I think he was successful in doing that.
And will this
Yeah.
will this depend on also the culture we come from? Because we are talking of African Ghana in terms of our culture. But then if you look at other countries, for example, in the UK here, you know, women here they can stand on their feet, they can do things. So you, the man, if you don't have skills, you know, the necessary skills, then obviously going out with this woman becomes a problem, because obviously they may know more than you, they may know everything.
They
Like
might
you are
feel
saying,
intimidated.
if you want to come.
Why should we feel intimidated? Because you know what? The 2 of us, we're supposed to be happy. We're supposed to bring out these kids. They have to see the qualities within us, because it starts from home. When a child is not happy, right, they might not even tell us. They see somebody out there, because they're angry, they just picked it out on anyone. And that's why this knife thing, they're having their back. It's not just because they're ready to go and just kill or do anything else. Because they bottle up so much, as we started with saying, the men being man up rather than opening up. We, as a society, we have to bring a stop to it now. You as a lady or as a woman, you have to empower me the same way you said your ex-husband did for you.
Yeah.
Right? My question was, did you empower him as well?
Looking back, I think I was too young, and you knew what independent woman was. I didn't. But in terms of empowering him, I think that probably not as much as I could have done. But it's what it is, isn't it? I can't beat myself for it. But then I didn't know what even, you know, when he told me independent woman, I was thinking, okay, what was it? But I went through the whole process of becoming an independent woman without even knowing, because as a girl, you know, just waiting for some rich person to come and then marry you off. You just had to make sure you kept yourself together and you were sort of wife material and so on and so forth. And that's how we are brought up. That's the thing. And then men also, you know, sort of go through their own sort of, you know, battles as well, where a man is brought up, they have to get a job, they have to make sure you're able to look after your woman. And the other thing that we're forgetting is other influences. So you're with a man who hasn't got a job. What do you think your family are going to say? They're going to get on the phone and start ringing you. You know, that man, and they call him all sorts of names, don't they? So we're all responsible, men and women. You know, we're all responsible.
I think the main thing here is communication. Because, like you're saying, a man not working. Why is the man not working? There may be, some men are so proud that some jobs they wouldn't do. But it's not about a job. For me, it's about the house. The job I'm doing is not the job I want to do, but it pays the bills. And I remember when I started, it was just for a few years. But now, looking back, I remember some guys come and say, oh, I was just, I'm looking for this. It's just about paying the bills, looking after your household. So, if we are to look at why we need to work, some people want to wear suit, tie, look big. I mean, white collar job. That's not what we should be aiming at. What we should be aiming at is looking after your family and looking after them well. So whatever it takes to look after your family, for me, that's important. So the fear that we're talking about mostly is because some men feel that maybe they wanted to be in a white collar job, they didn't, and the wife is in a white collar job, so they feel threatened, they are doing cleaning or security or something. It's not about security or something. It's about, I have to decide that for the sake of the family, I'm going to do night work so that the wife also, so we can manage the family without any.
The point comes back to education again. The reason I came to education again is we live in different we say culture differences, not. We've traveled to where we are now. So let's leave the manly thing that the man is the head of the family away for a second. Let's come to a point that we are living in a society that we have to learn that woman can earn even more than a man can earn. Equality at the moment. And if we put that in perception, I don't think that a man in this country will feel belittled. Because if you take yourself, we all like our fufus and our bankus and whatever we brought with us. And we brought that culture with us and it's staying with us. It's about time we shake it off. Because as you said, our children are learning from this. And we had to teach them where they are and what they are actually facing today. There's a thing I read on Facebook. It said, we get educated in school, then we get tested. But in life, we get a test before the education. We should give them the basics so they could face the test before they get the education. But that's what we don't give them. We need to give them the basics that, okay, these are the basics you're going to face in life. And once you go in and the test is going to come in, at least if you haven't got education, you've got a basic there to deal with the test. We don't give them that. And I think that as a family, or we that we're talking out loud now, in general, parents, are we talking out loud now that even our families, our partners that are any more than us, we should be able to give them that encouragement. We should be able to give them, okay, we are in a different culture altogether. You go and do the work, I'll stay home as a man and look after children. It's all right.
Some men will never do that.
You come up, and this is where we have to educate ourselves because we've got that ego with us that we don't want to change. But when we change, sometimes change is good. Change is very good, and this is where we have to come into to have that difference to change ourselves.
So will this go down to when we meet someone from the beginning?
You ask
the
them,
skills,
what do they do?
No, the skills that each one is bringing. What are you bringing into the relationship? So there is that understanding from the beginning. Do we encourage our young people and people who are looking to go into relationship to say, what are you bringing into that relationship? Because what happens here is that if the man, your wife or your partner may be more smarter than you in terms of moving on, you know, your career, wisdom, you know, everything, all the necessary skills, will this affect your confidence? How do we seek for help? How do we become open with our partners, you know, to be able to communicate with them, and that understanding is there that a man can also stay home and care for the children while the wife goes to work.
Yeah.
Will this happen in our culture and our community? And it's something that we need to encourage.
I think we are getting there.
I was going to say something. That you know what you just said about us encouraging our children, and I think that at some point we all have to be honest in terms of our own perception, even the way we're brought up. But we've got remnants that we can't shift. So I was taking my son to school. This was about 6 months ago, and he made a comment about how he doesn't mind if his wife earns more than him.
Smart boy. It's a very, very smart boy.
I still have mixed emotions and mixed feelings. And again, so we all have some demons that we need to shift. I think it's very easy for us to sort of get carried away and say things that, you know, because I don't know how I would take that if it ultimately happens. But that's what he told me. I was like, okay. He said it, but it's still at the back of my mind. I mean, he's told me many things, but that is one of the things that's stuck in my head. So,
Engraved in there.
We're close to wrapping up today, but we want to advise our children that we have in our homes. As we live here, what do we take with us? What can we tell our children? How are we going to show love? How are we going to be a good role model for them to copy? Are we going to communicate? Are we going to show more love? Are we going to go out to say like onto football or to school meetings and not leave everything on just the women as well? I know we are saying this when you're here. Some women play, or they know how to play the game very well, especially when they are not in good terms with their father. And sometimes it's not just about divorcing or separating. Sometimes they'll be in the house but separated. And that is even dangerous to the kids. Kids sees everything that goes on. Sometimes they do with their ears or their eyes. What we take with us here, and what can we say to our viewers, the advice we can give them, because some women, some fathers, everyone in the society, we all need help. And we have to break the cycle from now.
I had a very big argument with my wife. It's certain things we had to disclose it because we educate in the society that we live in. And I'm saying a massive bastard with my wife, and whilst the children were present, it was not a pleasant thing to go through. After the event, I had to call them down and I have to apologize to the children for my behavior. These are the things that we had to start doing because I was in the wrong to shout for a start. And the child had to know that you, the fathers, know that he does something wrong, that the child doesn't have to repeat. Sit them down and tell them the reason why that occurred, educate them why it occurred, and tell them, listen, if it does, you can come and talk to me because I've done it wrong. And back to the culture thing again, we are not man enough, and as we just said, bold enough to come and say, oh, I'm sorry. Not you, just your partner, but the children involved, because they are going to carry that scar with them. So you should be able to come and say, I did wrong. What I did was totally wrong. I shouldn't be shouting with your mom. We should be arguing in front of you. And I do apologize. With that, the children will think, they will never forget, but they will, it will water it down a little bit. And they'll be able to communicate with you a little more. Because they think, hold on, that's how they come to say sorry. They learn how to say sorry as well. Not just by you telling them, but they telling people as well that they are sorry. This is a part of education we are coming to.
Yeah, I think the culture aspect really is something we need to do something about, which is maybe modernize ourselves. And we've moved out of Africa, we are here, we've seen a lot of things, good and bad, but the good ones we need to pick up. One thing I always see is that white people tend to spend a lot of time with their children, especially at least dinner. They call it tea time. They will all sit together, have dinner, watch TV, and then everybody goes to do what they do. We hardly do that because someone is going to work, someone is coming home, someone is doing that.
Someone's going to church.
Someone's going to church.
I like that.
Yes. You see, I think the church even is taking too much of our homes, taking over too much of our homes. When I was growing up, church was basic 1 hour Catholic. You are done. You come home, you do what you have to do. So I think that we need to readjust some of these things. Go to church, but don't let the church become your life, where you spend 20 hours of your day in the church. Spend all your time on your pastor. Your pastor becomes your God. You don't even communicate to your husband or your wife, but you communicate with your pastor. It's wrong. We need to communicate with ourselves. We need our children to be home, to be go out to the park or something. It's not that we always go to church, go to school, go to work, go to shopping. No. We need to learn to do all these things. And at times, I think even eating out, we should start learning about that instead of eating at home all the time.
Yeah, thank you. I think for me, is about showing awareness as fathers, and as parents as well. If you are in a relationship or you have a partner, about your own behavior. For instance, if you are somebody who drink alcohol, is your children around when you're doing these things? Are they copying this behavior? If you are arguing with your partner, it's about knowing that the children are around. How will this affect them? How do you have family meetings? I feel that all these things should be considered. Children sit down. Are they of age? Talk about every month. What has gone well within the family? What has not gone well? How you move forward with things? I think by doing these things like this, it will help us, for your children to be close with them. Be involved with your children activities, things they are doing. Don't leave it for the mothers alone. Either you are in relationship or them. Attend parents' evening, go to the activities they are doing, spend time, quality time with your children. We tend to be very busy for ourselves when it comes to our work and other things, but when it comes to our children, we know. A lot of the children are very miserable and stuck at home. They don't have anybody to talk to. They feel lonely. They depend on their friends. And this is what draws them in the community in terms of getting into antisocial behavior and all these things coming in the community. How can you be at home and your children are involved in drugs and the drugs are in your house? Because you are not talking to them. You're not going to their house. You're not going to their rooms, checking them and everything. So I feel that as parents, let us, our children, when we started, we said we have to be comfortable. The children have to be comfortable with us. We have to be warm to them, show love, be part of their life, and everything will go well. When you have differences with your partners, always show awareness that your children are there. Find a convenient time to discuss it. Don't rush and jump and fight with each other. This affects children.
So for me, just to sort of add to what you've said, the love is key. For me, that's one. The other thing is leading by example. We tell children what to do, but we never actually show them how it's done. So I think leading by example is a good one. And also ultimately, parenting is all about sacrifice. So it's sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice. It's a thankless task, but you will get your reward. I promise you that one.
By being sent to a home when you are
When
home.
you're old. And your knees give in, yeah.
Once again, we've come to the end of today's program as Men and Parenting. If you out there and you have any questions, you can throw to us. You could check it on the Facebook or the Hoodin Park, or you could, if we know anybody here, you can write to them. They will get back to the producers. We also is on the YouTube as well. You could go on ITC8, and then everything that you see there, we'll have our emails and everything that you can write to us. We are still looking for sponsors as well. If anybody here is interested, helping this program, because we all need help. It might not be you, your sister, your brother, or anybody else out there who need you. Please get in touch. And thank you once again. And we will continue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh boy, that's
Well done. Next time, I think you need to have a pad on your hand so you can answer the question.